What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Dylan Mathews back at it again with another hometown take. Today I'm talking about the Atlanta Hawks, and well, it's great. Ice Tray dropped a 50 burger, almost a 60 burger on the Portland Trail Blazers' head, but guess what? They got the most important stat of the night, and that was a W. We did it. Why? Because we let freaking Anthony Simmons drop a 40 burger on our head, and we gave the Portland Trail Blazers 136 points with no Dame. No Damian Lillard. Dame time was not in the building last night. He was not tapping his wrist. He was not checking his clock. Dame time did not go off last night. And they didn't have CJ McCollum either. Okay? They didn't have their two best guys. And our best guy dropped 56 with 14 assists, and we still lost. I told y'all, offense is not the problem. It's the defense. Before I get too ahead of myself, let me take care of some business. Make sure you 1, like this video, 2, comment your thoughts, 3, subscribe to my channel and turn your notifications bell on so you get a nice little ding, ding, ding push notification as well as soon as I drop some. Okay? Also, check out the first link in my description box to buy me a coffee to help fuel this channel, help fuel the Atlanta Hawks to some wins, and help fuel them to playing some gosh dang defense, because that's what they need to do right about now. I've been telling y'all, it ain't about the offense, it's the defense. But I'm starting to get ahead of myself again, so let me relax. Let me save it for the meat of the video. This is just the appetizer. Anywho, buy me a coffee if you can, help fuel this channel. Check out the second link in my description box to subscribe to the Tough Calls podcast. Me and girl SymoneWithTheSports are talking to your favorite former and current athletes, hosts, anchors, reporters, head coaches, all that good stuff. Listen to the pod, like the pod, download the pod, subscribe to the pod, so your friends can do all the same things. This memory card ain't got much time on this, so I ain't gonna do the whole thing today. Anywho, guys and gals, the Atlanta Hawks lost by a final score last night of 136 to 131 to the Portland Trail Blazers, again, without Damian Lillard, without CJ McCollum. If you want to know the Portland Trail Blazers starting lineup last night, Anthony Simmons, make sure I'm saying it, yeah, Anthony Simmons, Yusuf Nurkic, who is usually a starter, you know, they're very good center, Nasir Little, don't know who that is, Norman Powell, obviously he is the usual starter, and Larry Nance Jr. So Anthony Simmons, Yusuf Nurkic, Nasir Little, Norman Powell, and Larry Nance Jr. was the starting 5 last night for the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, granted, we didn't have our top guys out there either, but we did have Trae Young, we did have Schlenk, we had Timothe Luwawu-Cabarrot, which I know he isn't the main guy, but you know, he's up there now. Skylar Mays, Kevin Huerter. Danilo Gallinari was back, Onyeka Okongwu was back, Lou Williams was back, and Delon Wright was back. So we had a good amount of our bench players. Still, the point being, the Atlanta Hawks should have not lost this game, especially when Trae Young has 56 points, 14 assists. He hit 7 threes out of 12, 7 of 12 from 3, and he was 17 of 26 from the field. That's as good a night as we're going to get from Trae Young. That's as good a night as we're going to get from Trae Young. Obviously, he can do more. You know, I ain't saying that's the limit for him. But what I'm saying is, when Trae Young has a night like that, the Atlanta Hawks should have an undefeated record. Anytime Trae has 50 points, double-digit assists, he hits 7 threes out of 12, and he goes 17 of 26 from the field, the Atlanta Hawks shouldn't lose many of those games. Unless there is a Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum dropping 30 points apiece, but that didn't happen tonight. And not only that, Clint Capella had 22 and 11. Onyeka Okongwu was solid off the bench. He had 8 points. Delon Wright had 8 points off the bench. Danilo Gallinari hit a 3. He had 7 points and 11 rebounds. The Atlanta Hawks shouldn't have lost on this night. Oh, and I almost forgot. Kevin Huerter had 18 points. He hit 2 threes. He was 8 of 16 from the field. Why did we lose that game? Why did we lose a game when Trae Young had 56, almost 60 for goodness sakes? Clint Capella had 22 and 11. Kevin Huerter had 18. And we got, 16? We got 23 points off the bench. Delon Wright had 8, Onyeka Okongwu had 8, and Danilo Gallinari had 8. Why did we lose that game? Oh, I know why. Because we can't play no gosh dang defense. Now, if you're telling me, a starting lineup of Trae Young, Skylar Mays, Kevin Huerter, Timothe Luwawu-Cabarrot, and Clint Capella gets beat by a Portland Trailblazers team with Damian Lillard, with CJ McCollum, with Jusuf Nurkic, with Norman Powell. Okay, I can understand that. I can see how they get off. Obviously, CJ McCollum is very good. Damian Lillard, we know who Damian Lillard is, and Jusuf Nurkic is a very underrated center. He's very good too. But no, that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. To tell you the box score for the Trailblazers, Anthony Simmons had 43 points. Why are we letting him drop 43 points on our head top? That don't make sense. He had 43. Jusuf Nurkic had 21, which is a typical Jusuf Nurkic night. But Nasir Little had 22 points. Who is that? Why did Nasir Little have 22 points against us? Norman Powell had 26. That's a little high for Norman Powell, but again, it's Norman Powell, so I understand. We let Ben McLemore get into double digits. Ben McLemore. I didn't even know he was still in the league. This team has to get better defensively or we're not going to make the playoffs, point blank, period. I don't even know if we're making the play-in. Bump actually getting 4 games against the team. I don't even know if we'll make it to the play-in if we keep playing defense like this. We let a Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum-less Portland Trailblazers team drop 136 points on us. They had 4 dudes. 4 out of their 5 starters were in double figures, and 4 out of the 5 starters had at least 20 points. The only one that didn't go off was Larry Nance Jr. He only had 2 points, but that's because there was no room for him to score because everybody else was getting off. Again, Norman Powell had 26. Nasir Little had 22 points. Nurkic had 21. Okay, but Anthony Simmons having 43? Huh? What are we doing? We are not rotating correctly out on the perimeter. We're giving guys wide open threes. We're letting guys get down the lane like the Red Sea is just parting. And we're leaving it all up to Clint Capella. That's not fair on him. Where is our defense? When are we actually going to start caring about defense? The reason last year we were able to turn things around is because we actually started caring and playing defense. Nate McMillan got us to play defense. That's why we went on a win streak. That's why we went as far as we did. We got stops when we needed them. We weren't a great defensive team by any stretch, but we at least did enough on defense so our dynamic offense could do what it did and we would win games. But we aren't doing that now. Our offense is doing just enough to keep us close, and in the game, we aren't getting blown out in many of these games. Even with when we got all these guys out to COVID, we weren't getting blown out the water. We may have got blown out one time, but we're staying close because our offense isn't the problem. It's never been the problem. We got plenty of dudes. We're one of the deepest teams in the NBA, but we're not winning because we can't get stops when we need them. We're not winning because we can't go on any runs because we can't stop anybody. We're trading buckets, and if we get behind early on, if a team gets off to a hot start against us, and we put ourselves in a hole, we can't climb out of it. Or if we get close to climbing out of it, we can't play any defense to make the necessary stops we need to down the stretch in the fourth quarter. And why this is happening, I don't know. The COVID stuff, I understand. Yes, okay, I get it. We had guys out there for a few games that shouldn't have been in the NBA period. They were in the G League for a reason. Okay, I get that. But this has been a problem before our COVID problems. I was talking about this before COVID ran rampant on our team. So this has been an issue. So it's still frustrating. Nate McMillan, did you not play with the glove? Did you not play with Gary Payton? Call him up, do something. Why can't we not play defense anymore? Obviously we just don't care. But Nate McMillan, how can you not get these guys to care about playing defense? our record is not good. It's not like we can just coast. If y'all want to know the standings, let me go ahead and tell y'all. So after last night, we're 16-20. 16-20. Let's check out and see what these standings are talking about. Currently, right now, if the Orlando Magic wasn't poo-poo, we'd probably be last. But thanks to Orlando Magic being 7-31, we're not completely last in the division, but we're second to last. So, in the Eastern Conference right now, we are 12th. We're 12th in the East behind the Knicks. We're a half game behind the Knicks, and we are 2.5 games out behind the 8th seed, which is the Charlotte Hornets. They're 19-19. Point blank period, we're gonna have to learn how to play some defense. And actually, scratch that. We're not gonna have to learn how to play some defense. We're gonna have to want to play defense. It's about the want to. I know this team can play defense. I've seen them play defense last year and this year too, believe it or not. It hasn't been many games where we've done it, but we've done it. Something's gonna have to change. And speaking of changes, Travis Schlenk was on the morning show with Johnny Hugh on Sports Radio 92.9 The Game, the flagship station for the Atlanta Hawks. Shameless plug, because obviously I work for 92.9 The Game. And Mike Conley tweeted out some quotes from Travis Schlenk. If you want to hear the full interview, go to 929thegame.com. You can hear the full interview. But just to give you guys some quotes, let me start from the beginning. And shout out to Mike Conti because he always tweets out the great quotes. So, Travis Schlenk, Hawks GM, y'all know who he is. He's saying the same thing we're all saying. This is Travis Schlenk. Quote, "It's the same thing every game. Ultimately, this falls on me, so we need to take a long look at this and see if this group is the group we saw last year in the second half of the season, or if this is the group this year." And when he says, or if this is the group this year, he means, or if this is just what we're working with. We're working with a team that doesn't care about playing defense. End quote. Also, Travis Schlenk said this morning, "It's a hard pill to swallow when your team isn't playing as well as you think it should. Maybe I should lower my expectations for this team." End quote. Well, dang. We got the GM saying that, y'all. The GM is saying, maybe I should lower expectations for this team. That's not good. That's not good. The team got the GM rethinking things like, dang, maybe I thought this team was the G, but maybe they ain't the G like that. Maybe like I thought too highly of this team. Maybe this team really ain't nothing when I thought it was something. Got the GM rethinking the team. And Travis Schlenk is a great GM, and it's just a mess. Okay. Travis Schlenk also said, "There's no sense of urgency to make a stop. There's no sense of accountability that I'm going to stop my guy. It's just not there. It doesn't bother them. I hope it's a switch we can flip, but I don't know at this point." End quote. Again, those are shocking. I do appreciate the frank and blunt honesty from Travis Schlenk. I really do appreciate it, and that's, part of the reason it makes him a GM. He ain't sugarcoating shit. He's telling it like it is, and that's how I want to hear it. And I'm glad he's seeing what I'm seeing because he is in the power to make the necessary changes. I'm not. All I'm going to do is hop on here and talk shit. But he's going to make the necessary changes, and he also talked about that too, talking about the trade deadline. Let me just find the tweet. All right, this is what Travis Schlenk said about the trade deadline. Again, shouts out to Mike Conti. Quote, "We have a few weeks before the trade deadline here, and this is what I need to figure out. It's my responsibility to put a product on the floor that can win, and right now, I'm not sure I have done that." End quote. So, basically, folks ain't safe. I personally think, this is my own opinion, I could be dead wrong, and we'll see. Trae Young is definitely safe. I'm very confident in that. Very confident, pretty sure John Collins is safe, Kevin Huerter, Clint Capella, and probably Onyeka Okongwu because he's still on his rookie contract, and he looks like he actually cares about playing defense. Everybody else, Delon Wright, even though I like Delon Wright personally, he's playing good defense. I think he could be safe, but I don't know. And frankly, Travis Schlenk, do what you gotta do. Make the changes you need to make because it ain't on Travis. It's on these players. At the end of the day, the players gotta play. And these players have to want to play defense. The effort's not there. Them caring about playing defense isn't there. The defense is just piss poor. So if you ain't playing defense, bye. Get them off the roster, Travis. Get them off the roster. Period. Because I want dudes that play defense first. I want dudes to care about playing defense first. And guess what, guys? I know we got it on offense, but if we play better defense, our defense could actually turn into offense. What? I know, it's crazy. It's unheard of. So, besides the guys I just listed, I don't know who's safe. Cam Reddish, I don't know if he's safe. I don't know. We're going to see. I think DeAndre Hunter is safe because he's like the anchor to our defense too. But everybody else, I don't know. And if they don't want to play defense, bye. I can do without them. That's it. Something's going to have to change on the defensive end. We got to play defense, period. If we don't play defense, I don't know what's going to happen. I could go on about this all day, but basically, Hawks, you need to play some defense. And if your name isn't Trae Young, John Collins, Kevin Huerter, to be honest, I don't know if he's safe, bro. DeAndre Hunter, I'm pretty sure he's safe. I don't know if he's safe either. Cam Reddish, I don't know if you're safe either. If your name ain't Trae Young, John Collins, probably Onyeka Okongwu, Clint Capella, probably Kevin Huerter because they just gave him an extension. If your name ain't one of those names, you ain't safe. If you don't start playing defense, you're going to get traded. And that ain't for me. That's from Travis Schlenk. And that's on period. And I'm agreeing with him. Get them off the roster if they don't want to play defense. Point blank, period. It's got to change. It's got to get better. Nate, make the dudes care about defense. Make them play some defense. And we can actually do something with this roster. Like this video. Comment your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel. Stay true to Atlanta. Believe in Atlanta. Peace.